28 years of law enforcement, 5 at a sheriff's office in South Carolina. 3 of those years I was uniform patrol. And then the last 2, I was a vice narcotics investigator. And then I got picked up by the FBI, or I applied with the FBI and they accepted me, is the way I should have said it. So I did 23 years in the FBI. First office was New York City. I was still assigned there when 9/11 happened. It's just the day of 9/11, I was actually in San Antonio, Texas, undercover. And then I went to the border of Mexico in McAllen for 6.5 years. And then I got to transfer to East Tennessee. But as far as injuries, man, they go back to they go back to college ball. And my buddy smacked me and it jacked me up and I dropped too fast. And when I did, I lost my balance and rocked forward and my butt shot up.
Ooh.
And there was no rack. It was just 2 stands. And instead of just letting it roll over my head and smash me in the ground, I did a good morning with 550 pounds on my back. And that's when I herniated my disc. I didn't know it. I remember exactly what it felt like. And that was the first big one. And I had my first lumbar fusion in 2002 as an agent in McAllen. And what I didn't know until 2020 is that thing had broken free approximately 3 years after I had it. So for about 15 years, what the doctors told me is I was going around with a disconnected back, just broke.
Wow.
No, the cadaver bone wasn't even in place. So I'm just twisted, no disc at all. And then through the years, just lifting, SWAT, firearms, doing all kinds of tactical stuff, fight training, my rotator cuffs, man. I've had 6 shoulder surgeries. Pretty much all of them are rotator cuff tears. I've popped a bicep into. I had the second lumbar fusion to fix the first one 2 Septembers ago. I thought that it was my back spasming. It was my hips. And I had a total hip replacement. Quickest surgery I've ever had out of all the surgeries. I think literal cut time was like 30 minutes on the table. But I got sepsis and almost died.
In America?
Yeah, in America. In America, clearly.
Well, because everybody thinks, you come to Mexico, you're going to get an infection and
you're going to wake up
and you're going to get
organs.
the shitty quality service and stuff.
So what I'll say.
I beg to differ, but.
Yeah, and that's what I'll say. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, look, I was a federal agent. I worked the border for 6.5 years. I worked the cartel. I worked in Mexico. Even when I went to Tennessee, we're still working Mexico stuff coming up. And I tore a rotator cuff again. And I'm like, man, I've got like 15 plus anchors in this shoulder. I don't know. I lost count. How much more can they cut and reattach? And I didn't want to get cut on. I knew my neck had some issues. And I called and started doing research on you guys. And again, a little sketch. I'm like, Tijuana, I'm going to the hospital. I know you guys are on the up and up, but I know what I know too. And man, I got down here. And again, the last hospital stay I had before I came here in November, I almost died. And I came here and CPI does such a great job. I mean, from picking you up, taking you everywhere. I think we had anywhere from 50 to 100 people there that week. You guys got cars going everywhere. People are going to different MRIs, doing everything. Not one hitch. No, it's just everything was smooth. But when I stayed in everything's top of the line anyway. It's a state-of-the-art facility. The doctors are unbelievable. The staff is unbelievable. And like in America, as I was explaining today to some people I was sitting next to, like when I almost died, that was Memorial Day weekend. Everybody's understaffed. I'm in extreme pain because I've got sepsis. I'm screaming bloody murder. But when my medicine would run out at the 4-hour mark or whatever, you can have more medicine, they have to call it in. Then the doctor has to call it, and then it has to get filled 4 hours. I'm sitting there screaming. Every exhale for 4 hours was either a scream or a moan. And again, understaffed, screaming, pain. Here, best hospital stay I've ever had.